What is going on, everybody? Burger Creations back here with another video. So about 8 months ago, we actually printed the Venator for Star Wars Armada. Now we used a standard FDM printer and it came out, I think, super dope, although the seam line in the middle was not the greatest looking and prettiest thing. However, one thing has changed, and that is that I have a resin printer that prints in super high detail, and I'm still missing the Separatists ship for Armada. Now, Star Wars Armada has actually released the new ships, the Venator, the Providence, as well as some others, but it has somewhat of an expensive price tag of $50 to $60, as well as I'm finding it hard to even get my hands on it. So I thought we should continue this series and build up our Star Wars Armada fleet with our 3D printers. So in today's video, we will be printing from our resin printer and making it compatible and look just like the one that they're selling and make it look like it matches in with all our Star Wars Armada ships. I'm actually super excited with this because I think we're going to continue after this and build a whole Armada fleet with our 3D printers. So without further ado, let's get that model on our slicer and let's get printing. Alright, so the model we are going to be using today will be by Dante's Gift. This is the Providence class carrier / destroyer, and this is thing number 1778423. So this model looks super cool, and it is made for Star Wars Armada, where it has the little input on the bottom of it. We will be printing this on our resin printer, so we'll be using the UV gray resin to get this model done. So without further ado, I'm going to get that printer set up, and I'll see you when it's all done. Alright, so our model has completed printing, and it looks pretty damn cool. So obviously it's still on the supports here. I haven't taken them off. I have noticed a couple different defects. You got one right here, it almost looks like a crack. It did not go all the way through, as well as we have some weird bending points at the bridge on the top here. At this front section, actually I think this is the bridge. I don't remember. Wait, I think that bridge, this bridge, and then also a little bit of arcing at the front. But that's nothing too bad. There's some weird flaking going on in the back, as well as some of these really skinny, I don't even know what to call it. Some of these really skinny details, it's really a little bendy, so I'm going to have to trim them up. But overall, a pretty damn good looking model. So we're just going to remove the supports and try to clean this up a little bit before we get started painting. Alright, so the model is all support free now. We did mess up a lot of the little small details. I ended up cutting off a lot of them just because when I was twisting it around I ended up hitting them, and I'm probably gonna, it's not gonna be like the only time I ever hit them whenever, you know, you're moving the model. But overall, this thing does look super dope. The peeling in the front is a little annoying, but the front is really not that bad. The bridge, like this bridge doesn't matter. This one looks a little bit wonky on the top here, but overall it's still a pretty damn good model. The only thing is we're going to check if this base actually fits into pre-made Armada bases, and sadly they do not. So unlike our other ship, this one might need its own base or some modifications. Now this one is a regular Star Destroyer base, but I also tried some of the other newer ones, like from the Separatist ships or the Republic ships, and no matter what, it was just a little bit too big. So this guy might need its own 3D printed piece, so that way we can actually glue it on, so we can use one of the Armada bases. I'm a little disappointed about that, because one of these things I like about printing these guys is so it's Armada compatible, and this is technically not Armada compatible, although it is in the correct scale. But anyway, we will continue though, and we'll probably end up printing a base for it. So we're going to be doing the typical Providence color scheme, except I'm not going to be doing a dark front. I think I'm just going to be sticking to the dark gray lines with the blue accents. I think I'm going to leave this color as the base color and then just do some painting over it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get painting this ship. so the paint is all dried up, and here is our Separatist capital ship. And I think this thing came out super awesome. Now, as we've seen before, we do have a bit of peeling and kind of arching here, here, and here from the resin print, as well as having a crack right down here. Now, I did accidentally mount this thing a little bit tilted up. I don't mind it, I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. But otherwise, I think the model came out super dope. So obviously we used the gray UV resin, and then we did silver stripes with blue stripes, as well as some black accents, black paint right here, and then a black wash all over this thing just to darken up the whole model. And I think it really did come together. I was worried about this front part not looking too grand, but I think it actually came out pretty damn cool, and it looks pretty damn accurate to the actual ship shown in the movies and TV show. And honestly, I'm pretty damn proud of this thing. Next, I wanted to compare it directly to the other model we 3D printed. Now, the main differences between these was this was printed on a resin printer, and this one was printed on the FDM printer. Another difference is our newer ship, the Separatist ship, had a darker wash over it, while our Republic ship had no wash over it. I think, again, overall, they look pretty damn good. I do say, I think the darker wash kind of just makes this ship feel a little bit more real, as well as, since I printed this in one body, we don't have that cracked line right there, as well as up here. I think overall, I would say probably the Separatist ship is my more favorite model, just because I feel like the paint job is a little bit better, and I really like how those eyes come out. It looks like it's staring right down the camera right now. So overall, 2 successfully printed ships, and if you want to go check out this one, you can go check out my channel to watch the printing of this Armada miniature. So lastly, I wanted to do a direct comparison against our printed model versus the models that they sell. And I think overall, we pretty much knocked it out of the park with this one. Now, this gray that we used definitely is closer than the time we did with the Republic ship, but it's still a little bit different than the actual model itself. This has some sort of another hint. It might be like maybe a greenish hint. I don't really fully know, but it definitely has a different hint to it than our print here. The blue is a little bit darker on this model, as well as the gray is a little bit more browner. But I have to say, I prefer our gray a little bit better. So I do think this guy will stand out just a little bit, but really I don't think it's too much to make the decision not to print it for. I think this is a great option if you either don't have the money or don't want to spend the money to buy the new ships, or you bought one and you just want to expand your fleet. I think this ship came out super dope, and yeah, I'm actually pretty damn happy with how it turned out. I was going to attempt the Separatist logo, but I decided not to. And I think the one big defining difference that I'm noticing right now is the white on both of these. This white definitely pops a lot more than that one. But that can be easily fixed with an additional dark wash. But overall, I would say this was a successful print. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you slap that like button, as well as leave a comment down below. If you're new here, consider subscribing, joining the family, and joining the fun. I think overall this print was a huge success, and I think I definitely like the resin print over an FDM print for Armada models. I definitely think I'm going to be doing more Armada models, but if I do any of them, I think I'm going to stick with the resin printer for now on. If you guys want to see a specific model done, make sure you leave that down in the comments below. And again guys, thank you all so much for all the support and the love, and I can't wait to come back next week. Have a great one guys. Peace. What?